everyone, namaste. My name is Tim Halloran, and this is a astrological forecast. Today is Monday, August 5th, and I do apologize for the wind and the ambient noise. I'm going to try my best to edit it out. On a brighter note, I'm happy to say that the aspects are very clear this week. For those of you who might have missed my last week's report, last week was a little bit muddy with the aspects. We were dealing with some Chiron, we were dealing with some Lilith, we were dealing with some suppressed emotions, some previous subconscious tendencies, maybe some unhealthy habits, and as I said, it might have felt a little bit like we were a dog getting our nose stuck in our poop. It was a little bit tumultuous for some, but I'm happy to say that it's much clearer. We're starting with a clean slate this week, and that's largely to do with a new moon in Leo occurring tomorrow around 6 p.m. This is a fantastic opportunity for rebirth and manifesting our unique roles and really starting and beginning and initiating our soul, our heart-driven purpose. So we have to remember, even though things go up and down, the last week is very tied in with this week. And this week is very, very good because we're finding out our true purpose. We're finding out what we really want to do in life. We're finding out our unique soul-level purpose, our soul-level role. And so the last week has been a lot of, undercover digging up old emotional stuff, early life childhood wounds, these sort of things. And we have to remember that that's directly tied into this period of rebirth. We have tangibly understood and tangibly learned what is being left behind. It's sort of like the old shoes that we've now outgrown. It could have been a week of purging. And now we're feeling clean and feeling empty. And tomorrow there's this new moon in Leo, and it's very much like a rebirthing. Very, very auspicious time. This new moon is just minutes away from the asteroid Vesta, which is a planetary body which is largely overlooked by most astrologers, but this Vesta really represents the highest octave of femininity. She is called the keeper of the flame. She is really this embodiment of compassion and service and this feminine, caring, nurturing aspect of reality. And this new moon in Leo, just minutes away from Vesta, Leo has a lot to do with this as well because Leo comes out of Cancer. So there are 3 fire signs in the zodiac, and all of them have to do with rebirth. Aries is the rebirth into a new individual. Leo is the birth into that heart-driven, really righteous role. And Sagittarius is the birth into the understood, the wisdom role, the big picture. But this Leo comes directly out of Cancer. So this Leo is the role that has learned empathy. Cancer is the mother, it's the emotions, it's the nurturing. And this last week and the last month, really the last 2 weeks, has been so much of this watery, looking at the past. Mercury has been in Cancer for several weeks, and this Thursday the 8th, it's going to move into Leo too. So there's this rebirthing period. It's like, in Hinduism, they don't really look at the birthing process as being the most attractive thing in the world. Yeah, there's one of quite a few negative traits of going through the birthing process is they believe while we're actually still in the womb, the individual soul is awaiting birth in the mother's womb. During this time, the child actually remembers their previous life, and that time in the womb is really a time of contemplating the previous life and reevaluating and really figuring out what went right and what went wrong as they prepare to be born into their new role, which should hopefully be correcting and straightening out sort of the missed marks of the past. That's really what's been going on for us a lot, hasn't it? Especially this last week, which has been a lot of reflection, digging up the past patterns, looking at the childhood wounds, and now we're preparing to be born again into our new role. It's like we have to purge out all this stuff to make room for the new. And and now we're left with this blank slate. So tonight is really an excellent time to maybe jot down what we hope to manifest, what we hope to accomplish, what we hope to gain, what we would like to see come to us, what we would hope to bring to others. This is really a perfect opportunity for doing this over the next month as we initiate this time of being born into our soul-driven roles. The empathic, loyal, dedicated, righteous individual that not only fights for themselves, but fights for the collective, fights for the friends and the family. That's really what this Leo is about. We've been learning about what hasn't been working for us and what has. And now it's time to really stick to what we know. What is our true purpose? What did we really come here to do? What is our heartfelt desires? We have so many desires, and a lot of desires take place here, a lot of desires take place here. But Leo desires take place here. Leo serves and fights for the heart. Yeah, this guy really fights for the mother and the father. The mother and the father, which simultaneously takes care of the son. So Leo is the son, and Leo is in an intimate relationship, really, with the mother. The mother is this nurturing, compassionate aspect, and Leo is this unique, individual, bright soul. It is our unique self. It is what we're going to be doing as a part of the whole, rather than what the whole is going to be doing. So it's an excellent time to be finding out what our tiny little work is going to be doing. You know, maybe we want to save the whole world. Maybe we want to stop the global destruction of the environment. Maybe we want to clean up Monsanto and all this really, really pathetic and distorted old paradigm stuff. But something to keep in mind with Leo as well, we've got to go at our own pace, yeah? And we're being reborn again, and we're going to be walking on little baby fragile legs, and maybe it's not the wisest thing to hit the ground sprinting, because we could probably fall and land on our face pretty hard. Yeah. Leo likes to get ahead of themselves a little bit, and Leo craves attention. And we have to remember that as much as we deserve affection for our heart-centered service, it's also important to remember that as small parts of the whole, our role is also small, and we don't want to overshoot too much with this manifesting stuff. We want to really be practical. So the moon enters Virgo on Wednesday, which is nice because that's going to be a very practical, able to sit down and break apart into chunks and really figure out what we want to be doing. And then by Saturday, the moon will have entered Libra, and then on Sunday, August 11th, it's going to form this interesting kite formation. It's going to be in Libra opposite Uranus and Aries, and then Pluto in Capricorn is opposite to Jupiter in Cancer, and they form this nice kite formation. And this Jupiter-Pluto opposition, really strong right now. This is a very exact aspect. It's going to be tight this week especially. It has everything to do with really expanding, transforming, really enlightening, shedding light to the darkness, bringing light to the dark places of our life, but it's also sort of this growing pain, like, I need to expand. I need to move forward with what I'm doing, with how my world is, with how I am. And it's like, I can't stand this old stuff. It's like we're wearing old clothes and they're like bursting at the seams, and there's these growing pains. But with this aspect on Sunday, my advice would be try not to be a little too over-compulsive, maybe. With the moon and aspect to Uranus, there can be a tendency to really sort of overshoot. So it's like, okay, we decide to be an artist. Maybe not overnight sell all of our clothes and belongings in exchange for paints and pastels and those kind of things. So we do have to go at our own pace. And we do have to take baby steps. And one step at a time, we're going to be manifesting this thing, this heart-centered thing. You know, and it's going to be manifested here. So even tonight, as we out here analyze and sort of plan what we want to be doing, we have to keep it with a tiny grain of salt because the manifestation happens here. This is where we will find our duty, our dharma, and our work on a soul level. So as always, I am wishing you the best. You can get in contact with me at the link below. On the business side of things, I'm probably going to start raising my prices come early September. So if you've been considering buying a chart reading, it might be a good time. Also, I offer free birth chart readings on your birthday for yourself or your friends and family that might be interested. So if you are interested, I look forward to seeing you, and I am wishing you all the best and brightest light, sun, energy, solar-driven week as we are born into Leo, our soul direction, our soul path, and our soul role. Namaste.